Alright, so a few days ago I released a new album called A Drop in the Ocean on my own label, Sauce Sparrow Sounds. And this is how I did that. So it's 0.5 mode. So it involved this whole thing. It's basically a toy my grandparents got me from Amazon like a couple of years ago. And I have not got a new keyboard since. Yeah, well, anyway, so what I do is press the trumpet button, sound number 11, and press this button 89 times to get to the right sound. This is the only sound I used on that entire album. Okay, actually there's one exception, but for the most part, it's the sound I used. There we go. And, so what I do is, you see it goes down here through the digital delay. I have everything pointing more or less straight up. And then it goes through the loop station here. And that goes out of this thing. And then it exits through the speaker. So and what I do is, let me, is this correctly equalized? I think so. So what I do is I just come up with something on the spot, like, I'd hold that, and then I'd go down here, press it once, and again, and just that, and then here comes this thing. I need to turn this down so you can hear me. Yeah, so then in comes this thing where I choose an effect. One of my favorites was ambient, but I'm gonna, for this one, I'm gonna use this one, VFL. I don't think I actually use this on the album, but you know. And so then I'd press it again, and I'd add something to it. See, that it added it to the sound here. Isn't that neat? So this was basically the process on, I need to turn this down again. So that was the process on, I'd say the tracks Lavender, Toothache, whole story where that name came from, and a few others. And, others, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, not you know this, but yeah. That did not work. And I can't remember if I actually did this on the album, but recently what I've been doing is I've been using this thing right here, and then adding some of this to it. And this guy was not used, neither was this, but what was used was this thing. God, it's so loud. So what I did is this thing is a handmade kalimba my brother made years ago, and that's the sound it made. It's not tuned at all. But very interesting percussive sounds. Another thing I did was beats. I don't know if I could do this while holding my phone at the same time, but I held it. Yeah, I really can't do that. But yeah, I was doing this. So that's what that sound at that very last part of Lavender was. That's me doing this. A little more controlled, two hands, you know. So yeah, that's basically what I did. Sometimes I'd come up with a little melody and add to it. There's, I think, 3 examples of that on the album. Two of them are in the track Zephyr, and the last one is at the end of Lavender. And there are also a couple of things that just sounded neat. And there are also a couple filler tracks. A Drop and The Ocean weren't really necessary. But yeah, that's what I did. We'll get into what I did this and this some other day, because I got a new album coming. It's actually done. I'm gonna be a busy bee this year releasing music, so stay tuned for that. Little hint, it might involve a familiar friend. So yep, that's how I did it. That's how I did it.